Radio Raheem here with the always flashy Paulie Malignaggi. Another stellar suit, my friend. You're always coming clean. Look, man, this is a controversy up here, at least by some people's standards. I'm eager to hear what you think. You know, you heard Erislandy Lara up there feeling like he got robbed. How do you come down on this one?
I think I don't have a problem with it going both ways, as long as it's close. You know, I really think this was a close competitive fight with a lot of rounds. Even had me scratching my head and thinking, which way do I go this round? Which way do I go this round? So, you know, it's a close fight. And I don't have a problem with either guy winning a close fight. I do have a problem with 9-3, you know, but, you know, we always got to have one idiot out there judging, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I felt it was a close fight, and I don't have a problem with either guy winning.
You know, you've had a problem with some of the decisions in your fights as well. Erislandy felt like his movement and he landed more punches and whatnot. But when it comes down to theory, are the harder, more effective shots more important in your book, or is it the accumulation of punches?
It depends on every round you score it differently. You know what I'm saying? You know, there were rounds where Lara was the only one landing punches. So no matter what power Canelo's throwing with, if he's not landing it, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, harder shots always count for more, and they're always scored better. But if they're not landing, then those rounds go to the other guy. If they're landing, then they go to the guy who's throwing the power shots, you know, but as long as they're landing, you know, I think people lose track of the fact that these shots have to land. You don't get credit for just throwing these power shots. You know, there's a controversy with the Algerian Provodnikov fight. It was the same thing. You know, oh, Provodnikov's throwing harder. Yeah, but he's not landing anything. Okay, I don't get credit for throwing all the hard punches I want if they don't land. You know what I mean? So you got, and from that perspective, you got to actually give the other guy credit for making the guy miss and having the ring generalship and that sixth sense of the timing on the defense, so to speak, you know. And there were rounds where Lara did that too. So, you know, it goes both ways. Some rounds Canelo had the advantage, some rounds Lara had the advantage. It was a really close fight.
Looking down the line for both of these fighters, still keeping your analyst hat on, of course. Canelo moves on. It clearly isn't going to be a rematch. What do you feel like he's got to do in the future? Because obviously guys are going to keep fighting him like this if he keeps being challenged this way. What do you see for the adjustments he needs to make?
For Canelo?
For Canelo.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, you know, this was a tough fight to really say what adjustments he has to make. You say you maybe use the jab a little bit more, but, you know, then again, when you find a southpaw, it's hard to use the jab all the time, you know. Canelo fought as good of a fight as he can fight, you know, and like I said, I don't have a problem with him winning the fight either. I think it was close, and it could have won either way. But this was always going to be one of those fights that was going to be a toss-up, and the way it was fought, and I think the way it was scored for the most part, showed that.
You've had your share of commentary on the business of boxing, and I think that's what Lara's going to face now. Do you think that it's fair? I think the criticism may be that he was not an exciting fighter. Guys who are defensive like that and move a lot, they don't want to pay for it. They want to buy those fights. What do you see for his future now? Does he need to make adjustments to stay as a marquee fighter, stay as a headliner?
I think Lara just has to be himself. You know, it may be tough for him to get fights. He's always that dark horse that will make you look bad, but, you know, doesn't bring enough notoriety to the fight. So it's tough because he may go back to being that guy again. But at the end of the day, he's got to also do what he knows will win him fights, and he can't just become somebody else and risk himself getting beat, because nothing gets you paid less than when you get yourself beat. You win ugly, you're still gonna get paid. If you start losing, regardless of how you lose, eventually it's not going to count anymore. You know, it's not going to matter. And
before I let you go, I'm going to take your analyst hat off and put your gloves on. Obviously, people want to know if they're going to see Paulie Malignaggi in the ring again. How are you feeling right now?
You know, I'm getting better. It's a possibility. You know, I'm not sure 100% though. I can't really tell you yes or no at this moment because I don't even know yet. But we'll see as the time progresses.
And lastly, Paulie, if you don't go back in the ring, do you feel like satisfied? Do you feel like you proved what you had to do? You got your championships, you know what I mean? Like, could you walk away from this game and really feel like you've done and accomplished what you wanted to?
And maybe, you know, I think at the end of the day, life is really about more than boxing. Life is about, you know, making sure you're successful in life and you're comfortable in life, and you know, you can really live a life where you can support yourself and be a happy person. And I think from that perspective, you know, I'm not going to be some of these fighters that you know, are kind of at a crossroads when they retire and they don't know what's going to happen and they don't know where they're going to make the next buck from. And from that perspective, I think I'm a success either way. So be it that I fight again or be it that I don't fight again, I'm satisfied with the fact that I won't go back to where I came from before, and that was my goal when I started boxing, was to never go back to where I came from before. And I think in the end that happens.
You know, Paulie, I got to say, from me to you, I really appreciate your work behind the mic. I enjoy listening to you call the fights. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
Radio Raheem with the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi.